Have you ever wondered what it actually costs to physically make top-of-the-line golf clubs if you don't have to spend any money on marketing? Or are you terrified to buy brand new golf equipment if you, or even a respected club fitter, were completely wrong about the right ones for you? Well, it's no wonder Costco's brand new Player iron has been sold out within a matter of hours, even though no one's been able to test or even review them. So let me show you how they've made their new iron set impossible to regret buying for any level of golfer, how they've made a product with no experience, no testing, no reviews, completely sell out without anyone knowing, and the big question, what do they actually stand to gain from any of this, considering not a single golf manufacturer is able to do what they're doing. But first, let's address the elephant in the room and one of Costco's secret strategies to make all their golf equipment a massive talking point. Back in 2016, Costco brought out their signature piece, Kirkland 4-piece golf ball, $29 for 24 worth of balls, claiming the ball meets and exceeds all the other national brands on the market. With the hype growing for the ball, especially around its price point, got many reviewers comparing it to the Titleist Pro V1, which eventually led into Titleist's parent company, Acushnet, filing multiple lawsuits because of it. Even though the Kirkland signature ball has changed quite dramatically from its first release onto the market, there's no question in the consumer's eyes, the Kirkland ball is definitely up there with some of the best out on the market. Whether this was intentional or just pure luck, if you're now Costco bringing a new iron out to the market and looking for a popular brand to model your new iron, well, who better to try and model it around the most popular iron to come out on the market in a decade, the Tailor-made P790. And with the Tailor-made P790 retailing for almost $200 per club, £170, there's no question from the aesthetics and obvious price difference between these two clubs, a lot of golf club reviewers online will probably make the comparison for you without you having to even say a word. Cheap golf clubs are awful. Package sets are just tacky. And any product that's not being used on tour by the elite golfers in our world almost makes the brand new beginner to our game feel like he's starting off the back foot if he hasn't got one of those brands in his hands. So how has Costco forgone and evaded this cheap stigma that so many other brands seem to battle, even with that dreadful logo stamped on the back of all of their golf equipment? The game of golf, especially over the last few years, has gotten incredibly focused around money, whether it's new LIV Tour signings, new tour bonuses on the PGA Tour, or new equipment reaching eye-watering amounts of money just for one club. Now, golf club reviews on YouTube have been around for the past 15 years, and with that, we have the same video coming out year after year. And the majority of golf club reviewers are here to make money. Hell, I did it when I started YouTube, as it was a guaranteed way of getting views for my small channel, as people would be searching for the new club that's just been released. But it gets boring after a while, trying to find new adjectives of it sounds good, it feels good, and realistically skirting around the topic of it going virtually the same distance as last year's model. However, more recently, especially with the world economy where it is, club reviewers very much bored of the rhetoric year after year, and the combination of new golf club startups very much relying on social media as their main source of advertising, there's a new wave of videos for creators to make on products that don't cost an arm and a leg. And not only that, they get to create a video that's going to do extremely well in terms of views because it's a much more relatable product, as it's affordable and, let's be honest, pretty close to the top line stuff. Ultimately, if you bring a solid, affordable product into 2024, not only will you bypass the cheap rhetoric of tacky and awful, but also get millions of views on the internet from creators making considerable amount of money from reviewing your golf product. And the best bit is, you didn't have to pay anyone to do it. At this point, you're thinking, Simon, that's all well and good, but the Kirkland irons sold out in a matter of hours and no one even tested, tried, or reviewed them. And it's a very good point. Costco does it completely different from traditional golf club manufacturers and the way that they bring products to, well, the public. Every year we start to see leaks of the new driver, irons, putters, etc., months of teasing and tour releases, as well as a high budget advert that costs lots of money to make. This has been a very sound method of product release for decades when it comes to social media. But you have to remember, Costco's goal isn't to be the biggest golf retailer in the world. And ultimately, the main reason why they've made a golf product that will be impossible to regret buying. Costco's whole business model is based around a membership system, essentially a part of a secret club. I felt like that when I joined a few years back when they released the Kirkland wedges, and I knew I had a good YouTube video in my hands. The point is they released the irons on a non-assuming Saturday in the morning with no notice to the general public, and by lunchtime, they were gone. It's estimated there was only 4,000 sets of irons available at this point in time. And considering 50% of the people that probably bought that initial 4,000 were scalpers trying to chance their luck and double their money off the hype on eBay with charging up to $1,000 for one of these sets of irons, it's still a very small amount of product to release to the public compared to the massive pre-books that you will see from all the other manufacturers up and down the country and obviously worldwide. This just adds fuel to the fire, and it's obviously worked, as many mainstream publishers noting the fact that the sets of irons sold out in a matter of hours. This creates FOMO, people wanting to get their hands on the equipment, and as we all know, the best form of marketing that there is word of mouth. And there's definitely a bit of that going around at the moment. Don't buy new golf clubs ever, is essentially what my channel is all based around. But that is unfair, and I actually recommend quite a few of the people that I teach to go for a club fit, especially for the experience and to test their equipment against the latest and greatest to see if there is a difference and what that set potentially can do for their game over the next 5 to 8 years. But the two main reasons I don't tend to recommend golf clubs to people is, one, the price. For what you can get secondhand, it's immensely cheaper, and for the level for that average to beginner golfer, a standard steel regular flex 4 to pitching wedge in a suitable head style, well, will more than likely suit them. Then number two is the price point and the fact that you have to be right, which I see as a massive downside of all golf club fitting. You have a fitting for an hour with potentially someone that's never seen you swing it. They give you certain length, certain lie, certain shaft, certain head type. You make a decision, you spend the money, you go on the golf course in 6 weeks' time with your new sets of irons, and you don't quite get on with them. The issue with this is once you've taken the wrapper off and you've hit them, you can't then send them back. Costco, however, is renowned for their return policy. Obviously, other manufacturers will replace your equipment if it's broken or defective, but you would then get a replacement club and you definitely wouldn't be getting your money back from them. But putting that all to one side, as I've seen with Kirkland equipment in the past, the hype is very much there. And as these clubs are set at $499, I'm not too sure how much they're going to be in the UK. I can see you guys using this set of irons for a year, 2 years. Don't try and return them after 2 years. But because the price point's around £70 a club, they already serve a purpose. 4 to pitch and wedge, good looking head, decent shaft. I can't see a set of these go for anything less than £350 in, well, 2 years' time. And that's not necessarily a massive loss when you get 2 years worth of golf out of them. Costco creates Kirkland's signature range at great value for money, whether it's their toilet paper, food, or even golf equipment. Because ask any golfer that's walked into Costco to get his 2 dozen of Kirkland balls for $24.99, and I can guarantee you he would have ended up spending 5 times the amount of money on stuff that he can't even remember buying. Guys, if you have any questions on your golf bag or equipment, sasgolfacademy.com, or if you want to check out my profile on Skillist, I'll leave a link in the description below. Catch you guys later.